Hey folks, it's Sunday. I decided to do a little work with my gear, go through some things, put some things away. I just had my hunting bag out and got rid of wrappers and things like that. They're left over from last time I used it. This is a bag I carry with me whenever I'm out in the woods, keeping my car all the time. It's what I'd call a get home bag. And well, here's what we've got. The bag I carry. This is a little something I picked up at Herb Phillipson's. Nice quiet fabric, and it's good. I got a little scent drag here that I hang up, but got a few pockets on the outside, pockets on the inside, zip up mesh pocket. It's suitable for carrying a hydration bladder. It's not a bad little pack. It's got a pretty abbreviated waist belt, which is what I like. I don't like a lot of waist belt on my hunting pet bag or that because I tend to carry a couple of knives on my belt, and well, the waist belts just get in the way, and I like to have just a strap and not much more. Okay, but that's what I carry. That's what I use when I go hunting, and as you'll notice on it, I've thrown a little pouch here onto the side. That's for my Lensatic compass. I recommend this style compass. Good for taking a bearing off of a landmark or working with a map. And I also, on the other side here, yeah, that's missing. That's right. I've got that on another pack now. Used to have a radio pouch, but I don't use it on this one. I just clip the radio right onto this strap. Anyhow, in that pack is my survival roll. In this, I've got all kinds of little goodies. Starting out at the end here, personal care items, a little chapstick. This is good for a fire starter. This is beeswax. Okay, it's good for a fire starter. It's good for just personal care, waterproofing, working on a zipper. These are little towels that you get them wet, they get bigger. A snare and a vial of salt, and some Kevlar thread and some needles. Notice the big curved needles. That's what you want when you're going to have to do stitches in the field. I've had to stitch myself up a couple times. My oldest son knows how to do stitches because, well, he's stitched me while I held the wound closed. Here we've got a signaling mirror. This is a nice beefy one. This one I actually inherited, but okay. Right here I've got a little bag, some beverage bag from an MRE, and in that I've got some Chloroflock and a Frontier straw, which is a water filtration straw. Works pretty good. It filters out most bacteria and other impurities. Okay, it's pretty decent little straw. The Chloroflock tends to separate out the sediments, and you still should, in my opinion, purify your water after using the Chloroflock. This is a pouch for a Sawyer filter, which is right over here, along with the back flush syringe. So if I need to clean out the Sawyer filter, I have a way to do that. Right here. You've all seen those wire saws. I say if you have one of those, immediately throw it in the trash because it's going to let you down at the worst possible moment, and go out and invest in one of these. This is a chainsaw blade here, and it's attached to a couple of good sturdy links with good heavy-duty ballistic nylon straps. One man can use this and take down a small tree fairly easily, or limb things up. It's a really nice little unit. Okay, here, you know, personal hygiene is important, even when you're out in the woods. You know, you can end up with health problems if you don't take care of yourself. So a little toothpaste and a toothbrush, and some soap. This is this Camper's soap film. Good for, you know, just washing your hands, not a whole lot more. My little Fiskars tool. This is similar to tools made by Gerber. It's got a few different blades on it. You got your file, nice little serrated sheep's foot type blade, and a little hard to operate on its own with one hand, and my other hand's being used to hold the camera. So anyhow, little Fiskars tools, some simple sturdy tent stakes, a little bundle of duct tape. I actually bought it like that. You can just make up a little bundle of duct tape. Some paracord, light sticks, Silalume, a Mora companion knife. This is a great little knife. These run about $20 or less. Extremely sharp Swedish grind. You can shave with this if you had to, and it'll work for most camp tasks. I wouldn't use it for batoning firewood, but for just about everything else. Got to skin a deer or got a fish or whatever. Okay, right down here, a little sharpening implement. A magnesium block with a ferro rod in the side. Try to find a good one if you can. This one here is an issue one from way back, but this is a little piece of fat wood. Anybody that's ever used fat wood can tell you it's a great way to get a fire started. That's enough to start several fires, trust me. And some more light sticks. I find they're kind of handy. Some bug spray. A vial with stormproof matches. There's an extra striker in there also. These are great. These right here, these UCO stormproof survival matches are excellent. They'll burn while getting wet. They're just, you know, they're not easy to put out, actually. Little survival whistle. Okay. Mini mag light. And check your batteries on these things once in a while. You don't want to have your batteries leak. And this is actually a magnesium bar with a ferro rod in the side also. I believe in redundancy. Okay, that's my survival roll. There used to be a little compass glued on top of that, but it came loose. I haven't addressed that yet. Okay, moving on. Other stuff that's in the pack. Little light reading. This is the SEER manual. It's a great compact survival manual. Covers a lot of stuff. Shelters, first aid, you name it. If it's important, it's covered in here. A spare pair of wool socks in a vacuum sealed bag. Food storage bag. I've got one of those little vacuum sealers. They're good for things like that. Some wash towels. This is a Mylar sleeping bag. It's not just the survival blanket like you see those cheapy ones. This is a pretty heavy duty sleeping bag. You fold it out and it's a pouch big enough for a 6-foot tall man to climb into comfortably. This I usually keep clipped right onto the shoulder strap, my Bofang radio. I've got a pretty extensive set of channels in here. As you see, it's set up for GMRS. Now, those aren't listed for GMRS, so you can't transmit on GMRS with this legally. It's a ham listed radio only, and I do have a ham license, so I do talk on the ham repeaters with it, but I can also listen in on other channels, GMRS, FRS, etc. This is an Army issue poncho. Great. Can be used as a shelter half. Any number of things. Also outstanding for its primary use, poncho. Down here, this is my my food bag and all the stuff that's in it. I keep dried fruit and dried fruit and some nuts. There's a little bag of some of the stuff from MREs, sugar, creamer, salt, some bouillon packets, some freeze-dried coffee, etc. Stuff like that. This actually needs to be restocked before I put this all away finally. Bag of jerky. I add to it as I eat from it. And then this is kind of a luxury item. This is awesome. Beef stew, freeze-dried beef stew. These are a little pricey, but they're pretty tasty in the long run. Not a bad, you just need to add hot water to them. So you got to be able to boil water. And my primary water container that I carry in a pouch on the side of the pack. It's just an Nalgene bottle that I've actually spray painted over a couple times to reduce the shine when it's out in the woods. And this was an extra bottle of water I was carrying in the pack. A Gerber hatchet and saw combo. There's a saw down here in the heel. This is something I inherited, but I really like it. It's a good sharp saw, or hatchet rather. And so I started carrying that in the big pack. Now, if I'm carrying just the survival roll, I've got pretty much everything I need. So this is kind of redundant, but I like it. So this is my gut hook, and with it I carry a ferro rod. Now, if you're keeping track, I believe we're at three ferro rods so far. Okay, my first aid kit. I'll do a breakdown of this in another video. This is my basic individual first aid kit, and well, it's pretty well packed. I've got a couple different, I got Israeli bandages and tourniquet and so on in this, so along with basic medicines and such. My stainless steel cup, I use that to boil water, make coffee, and in fact it needs to be cleaned because I made coffee in it last. And a shemagh. This is a scarf a lot of people are familiar with. It's all-purpose. This one needs to be cleaned. Well, it can be used for everything, right on up into including having to blow your nose in an emergency and you got no tissues, or sling an arm, or start a fire. These little things here, well, you can trim those off and they make good tinder. Okay, I was deer hunting last, so deer dragging, some gloves, and a dressing kit. And here's a camper's or backpacker's tarp. This is a pretty decent sized waterproof tarp, and I know it's bright blue, so it's not much in the way of camouflage, but for its intended purpose, it's just fine. If you can find a green one, great. But I wasn't thinking about concealment with this particular tarp. If I'm worried about that guy right there will do that job. Okay, that pretty much breaks down everything that's in my everyday carry backpack that I keep in my car. And I'm sure I'm missing some things in here. But If I had to beat feet out of the car and deal with a trip through the woods for a couple days or whatever, I'm prepared for that. Now, the question is, go out to your car and ask yourself this question: am I prepared for that? Oh, by the way, out in the car, there's another M65 field jacket, and what you don't see here is what I have strapped on the pack normally, and that is a Whoopee, and also my blind material. Whoopee is as most of us know, is a poncho liner. It's the ultimate piece of kit. But anyhow, that's it, folks. Been meaning to do this for people that are trying to figure out what they should be carrying in their get-home bags. And I hope this has been helpful. Oh, wait. Look at this. One more little tidbit. The Esbit stove. These are great. Throw your stainless steel cup on top of this, burn one of the fuel tablets, and you got 15, 20 minutes of flame. You got hot coffee, whatever. Anyhow, almost forgot about that. Oh, and right next to it, see, a pair of binoculars. Should see what's around you. Okay? Anyhow, all right, now I'm really done. And you folks have a great Sunday. Oh, and for those of you that are watching the Super Bowl, I forgive you, and we'll have a good time watching the game. For those of you that are protesting it, well, you have a good time doing whatever you're going to do. Me, not sure yet. I've been invited to a party, and that's really more about getting together with some friends, but it's kind of far away and it's kind of late, so I don't know if I'll do it on a Sunday night. We'll see. Anyhow, you all have a good night and a good day, and God bless the USA, and God bless everybody watching this video and their families.